Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy MiniMimes, and today we are discussing is Pirate101 dead in 2024. For those who don't already know, Pirate101 is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, otherwise known as MMORPG, developed and published by KingsIsle Entertainment in 2012. It is a sister game to Wizard101 set in the same fictional universe of the Spiral. The player assumes the role of a pirate who, after being rescued from a prison ship, begins searching for pieces of a map that could take him to the mythical long-lost world of El Dorado. The player is in a race to reach it with Kane, the game's main antagonist. Players can complete quests, sail ships, recruit companions, and battle enemies in a turn-based combat system similar to those used in board games, and have the option to choose between 5 classes: Buccaneer, Musketeer, Privateer, Swashbuckler, and Witch Doctor. Pirate101 promotes itself as a free-to-play game, however that is still not the case 12 years later. It should be promoted as a pay-to-play instead. The game's content is divided into numerous quote-unquote books, which are further subdivided into individual chapters. Players may purchase access to all areas related to a given chapter using crowns, the game's premium currency. Purchasing a membership grants unlimited access to all chapters for unlimited time. A paid subscription is typically $9.95 a month or $79.95 a year. Upon character creation, players are given free access to the introduction and to the prologue part 1 of the first book. The question remains, is Pirate101 dead in 2024? If we take a look at Steam player charts to gauge the number of active players that are using the Steam launcher to play, we can see that Pirate101 is actually in a downward trend of the average number of users at any given time. If we look at year over year, we can see that in June of 2023, the average player base was 83 players, and in June of 2024, the average player base was roughly 24 players. This is an almost 61% decrease. To note though, Pirate101 has only been out for a year on Steam. However, this is no excuse. These numbers are pathetic. All is pointing to bad signs. However, a majority of players use the Pirate101 launcher, and KingsIsle does not publicly share their player base data. Yet, there are other ways to make inferences and guesstimations. If we go to the Realms tab in Wizard101, it is currently 6 PM as of this recording. We can see that there is one normal server, and the others are perfect. We can safely say that a few hundred, maybe even a couple thousand, use the Pirate101 launcher, but we cannot make an exact determination of the status of the player base. In one of the forum posts, 1 year after the release of Pirate101, we can see that it shared its much larger predecessor's success. 5 million players registered is an insurmountable feat. So what caused this game to basically cease to exist? From barren servers and to dead communities? It all boils down to the same answer: content. KingsIsle focused most of its effort on Wizard101 as it held a major part of the revenue and profit, which makes sense. However, we can see that the game was doing well, likely more than expected at one point, so why? We genuinely have no idea why. KingsIsle was phasing out the game, slowly but surely, with smaller and slower updates. Content was almost abysmal. The last main storyline book was in June of 2016, 8 years ago. Now you might mention the Sinbad chapters. Those originally were meant as a side progression, but were instead converted into the main storyline that actually took years to finish. This is a joke considering KingsIsle planned on revitalizing Pirate101 a few years ago. However, it seems it might not be a joke after all. It seems that the development staff are picking up the pace in terms of progression and consistent updates. Despite its promising start and initial success, recent years have seen a decline in active players, especially on platforms like Steam, where statistics reveal a significant drop in active player numbers year on year. While exact player base figures remain undisclosed by KingsIsle, indicators suggest a shrinking community and waning interest compounded by limited updates and content additions. Nonetheless, there have been recent signs of vitalization efforts from the development team with promises of enhanced content and more frequent updates. This resurgence has sparked optimism among the remaining player base, hinting at a potential turnaround for the game's fortunes. Pirate101 tweeted in September of 2023 that the player base is actually increasing and at a healthy pace, all while development is occurring behind the scenes to fill that void of content. More recently, the KingsIsle team posted the return of chapter pricing to further increase development resources, meaning bigger and maybe even frequent updates. As I was creating this video, Chris from the Pirate101 team just announced a free week of membership for all players. The last year, give or take, has shown that the team is putting in much more effort and dedicating more time and resources than previously. Is the game dead in its current state? Yes. However, the game does have the ability to pull the ultimate remontada, or in other words, comeback. If the Pirate101 development team continues to pull resources and time into this, I genuinely believe that the game can become much bigger than it has ever been. I am excited to see what we have in store for us. In conclusion, while Pirate101 currently struggles with low player engagement and sparse updates, there's a glimmer of hope for its resurgence if development efforts continue to intensify. The game remains a shadow of its former self, but holds promise for a potential comeback in the near future. And to that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.